Is going on, gaming nerds? Welcome back to Midnight Gaming with Designare. Thanks for coming to the channel and hanging out. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. I'm having a pretty decent day. It is midnight yet again. We are back on Russian Fishing 4. I figured that we did a winding rivulet episode, that I would jump back to Mosquito Lake. We've got enough money that we can buy our first feeder rod and we can do a first feeder setup, but here's the cool thing. Instead of doing regular feeder fishing over there, we're going to do the trophy fishing. Now, granted, there's a possibility I probably won't get a trophy just because I don't actually have any skills into bottom fishing as of yet. And usually when you hit the paternoster rig, that's when you want to start putting skills. If you want to put any into bottom fishing, you probably want to start right here. I'm not saying go out and do this, but once you put stuff in here, put skills in here, then the nice thing is you can actually start catching trophy with it and stuff like that. I'm also going to put one into spinning, because spinning actually goes across multiple things. It goes to from bottom fishing to float fishing, using a spinning reel and everything in between. So I figured we'd jump over there and I was going to take you to the trophy Gibel and Crucian carp area, and we're going to do it as a low level. So what we're going to do is I haven't bought the rod yet. I haven't bought the setup yet. We can go ahead and buy the rod and the setup and everything else, and then we can go put it all together and I can show you where the trophy fishing area is. If we have time, I'll show you some of the other cool spots on Mosquito Lake, but we're going to go ahead and head over. We'll be right back. Okay, we have landed at Mosquito Lake and we are going to go over and we're going to buy our first kit. Now, there's a couple things that you can pretty much do here when you're a starter level, a starter player, a low-level starter player. And that is you can get the basic of everything. Now, the basic of everything you can actually still trophy fish here with. I've done it myself. I've proven it to myself. So that's why I'm okay with telling you guys this. The Express Fishing Spark is absolutely fine to go to this trophy area. Okay? Absolutely fine. Better. As you go higher, the reels get better when it comes down to going to this fishing spot. But you can start out at the Express Fishing Spark. The secret is not the reel or the rod. The secret is the line and the hook. And we'll talk about that in a second. So rods, when it comes down to rods, you can go down to the very first rod, the Express Fishing Corona, and you can skip over that completely because that was not the rod that I was looking for. I was looking for the feeder rods and the Express Fishing Sorrento. I have used both this one, the FD100, as well as the FD130 to do this type of trophy fishing. 4.6 kilograms, and they did absolutely fine with the Spark. Like I said before, the important thing is when you get into your lines, okay? So what we're going to do, instead of buying those two basic things, what we're going to do is we're going to go into our kits and we're going to go ahead and purchase a feeder fishing start for $149. Now this is going to give us the Comfort FD360, which is a 6 kilogram load capacity, which is even higher than the rods I just showed you, as well as these brand new as in they just came out a couple of weeks ago. These brand new Lacertes. The other Lacertes were kind of better because they were 5.5 kilograms, but I think the devs are kind of trying to even things out a little bit when it comes down to rods and reels and everything. So they've replaced the old Lacertes, which were 5.5 kilograms, with these new Express Lacertes. And there's this one, which is the lower one, and then there's a higher one, which is Scusi, which is the 4.5 kilogram Lacerte 2. All right. I would prefer this one, to be honest with you, just because I always like to have as many kilograms as I can. And if you're going to buy one of the reels, and there's two types of reels, I always feel like getting the higher one is better. But I don't really want to pay $138 for it, to be honest with you. I'm still kind of iffy about the 98. So that's why I've decided to go with the kit, which actually has it at, I believe, a lower cost here, as well as the Common Comfort. And I'm also, this line's going to be crap. We're not going to use this line. We're going to get a nice little sinker from it, and we're going to get a Siberia 14 hook, which we are not going to use. And the nice thing is we also get twin bells, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. Now I understand this is only going to be one feeder rod where most people use 3 doing this. But if you want to start out big, you can do this. And you can go for this trophy area with these items here. So let's go ahead and purchase it right now. And we're going to go in and we're going to unpack it. Once we unpack it, guess what? You cannot turn it back in, or you cannot return it. By the way, did you guys know that you can return things? You can return things. Look, it says press Y, not I, to return the item. So we've already got our comfort and we've got all of this set up. This is crap line. And we've got our express fishing pair and stuff. If we go up to change, as you can see, the Paternoster rig, which is a bottom feeder fishing rig, is not open to us as of yet. And that's fine, because what do I have? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have made a little bit of Gibel Carp mix. Okay, they're not great. They're only quality 3s and 7s. I actually made like 5 or 6 of them, and these are the only ones that I wanted to keep. So we're going to use these, and we're just going to toss these out into this area. So we don't actually need to utilize the Paternoster rig, which has a feeder cage on it. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to do a line setup. Now, here's the secret to this. And using this low-level gear as a low-level, braided line. As always, braided line. I know a lot of people are like, oh, mono's fine. Oh, fluorocarbon's fine. You have a chance at this area to hook into a really, really big common carp. And if they take off with your line, you're going to get spooled. That's just the way it goes. Okay? So I'm using braided line instead, so we can make sure that we're not going to get spooled. We can go, he can run all the way across the lake and we're going to be absolutely fine. So I'm going to go down here on the braided black. Now, as you know, when it comes down to lines, or you may not know, you can actually go a little bit above the drag, the rated max drag of the reel. Ours is 4 kilograms. We could actually go up to 5 kilograms because our rod is at 6 kilograms. However, that is only when you know the mech weight of your reel. The mech weight of the old Lacertes was 5.5, which is exactly the same as what the drag weight was. So I'm going to assume that our mech weight is only at 4. So I'm not going to go with this 5 kilogram. I'm going to go with this 3.5 kilogram. But wait a minute. Look right there. It says we have it in our backpack. Oh, that's right. Mystic is smart sometimes. And in our Corona setup, we bought some 350 meter black. Wow, what a coincidence, right? Not really, because I planned all of this. So we're going to go ahead and take that off of there. We're going to go ahead and throw this on the, not that one, because we just took it off that one. We're going to throw it on this one. We're going to use 658 meters of line that we could get on this Lacerte 2. 658. Now we don't have that much, I don't believe, because it says 350. So we only have 350. So that's the max that we could do, is 350. And this can hold 650 at 11 millimeters. So if we were to actually put this bad boy comfort on number 3, and we pull up number 3, if you look down at the bottom where I'm flashing the retrieval speed, as you can see, just to the bottom right of that, you can see our reel, and our reel is only halfway full. And that's because on this, with this size of line, we can actually hold 600 meters of this small line. But it shows half full because we can actually, we're only holding 350 meters. Next, we need a hook. Now, when it comes down to this, we're going to go into our hooks, and we're going to just stick with classic hooks. One of the nicest things about starting out is these Happy hooks. They're cheap, but they have 3.5, 4 stars. They're great hooks to start out with, and they're fairly cheap. These are usually for whitefish or bream. I have used these on other fish, so if you've accidentally bought them, that's fine. Go ahead and continue to use them. That's fine. But we're going to go with one of these 14s, or CL13 or CL14. These have a little bit of a hook to them in the front. So I think they're a little bit better. They're 4 stars, but this is 3.5 stars. We're going to settle with this. This is fine. But what you want to do out here is you want to go to size. Where is it? Am I blind? No, size 6 is what you want to go out here. Size 6. So you'll catch the small ones, you'll catch the medium ones, and you'll have a chance at catching the trophies. Now, we've got our medium 6, so let's go ahead and set that up on our comfort. We've already got our thingamajigger. It's called a weight mystic. Okay, so we're going to go into here and we're going to grab our 6, and then we're going to go into our bait, and we're going to be using wet brad. Now, normally when the high levels come down here to do this trophy fishing, they'll be using semolina, or they'll be using honey dough. We don't have that. We have wet bread, but we can still catch a lot of fish even with wet bread. Okay, so feeder leader, this is actually something that's really good because we have a black visible line. We may actually want to get a feeder leader. So our black visible line is at what? 3.5 kilograms. Now we could try this without it, and I probably will. We're going to go into our leaders, we're going to skip over classics, and we're going to go into feeder leaders, and then we're going to start considering fluorocarbon leaders because they're invisible. So they've got 3 different styles. I usually don't have a problem buying the more expensive ones. However, what is this? Player required 14. Is this one going to say the same? No, it does not. What about this one right here? Player required 14. Okay, we are not at 14. So we can use this lower level fluorocarbon if we wanted to. I'm going to use a 3.2 kilograms. I realize that my line is 3.5. I could use 5.4 or 3.2 depending on if I want my leader to be the weakest link in the chain, or if I'm okay with my line being the weakest link in the chain. Right now, I am not okay with my line being the weakest link in the chain because I'm brand new. I don't have a lot of money, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to use the 3.2 kilogram. 590. We're going to throw that on here. Bada boom, bada bing. There's our setup. And we're looking at about 200, 220. But because I already had the line, it's actually less than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come cruising down here, and I'm going to make you guys stick with me the whole walkie way over here as we walkie-talkie down in this left side over here. We're going to head down here to the trophy area. Now, basically with the trophy area, all you're really going to do is you want to make sure you have your Gibel and Carp ground bait that is also brown. And you're just going to toss a little bit in there. Now, this is what's nice about this is you can utilize this as a paternoster nostril. This thing here, you can utilize this and put the Gibel Carp ground bait in here, and you won't have to throw any out. But because we're using the basic bottom fishing rod, bottom fishing rod, bottom fishing rig, we're going to be actually throwing this out to draw in the carp. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the control button, and we're going to press plus, and we're going to get it up to 10 meter clip. 10 meter clip is when it purposely stops you at 10 meters. Boom. You see how it flipped at me? And you want to throw between this tuft of grass and this log. Where are we on the map? That's a good question. We are right here on the map, throwing this away. Okay, on the bottom right, we're at 45-41. I kind of don't like that throw right there, so I'm going to go ahead and rethrow it. And you can also back up a little bit. Okay, so we'll back up. We'll go right about there. And you'll see that the line will stop. Okay, right there is absolutely fine. We're going to go ahead and lock our reel. We're going to go ahead and go down, put it down by pressing 0. We're going to use the U button. We're going to grab our Crucian carp bait. And I'm going to throw out about 3. Depending on if I can actually throw well or not. A little bit further at 50%. That's probably, yep, that's fine. And then I'm going to throw one over here just in case. And that's probably pretty good. Now, it doesn't really matter what time of day you do this. Okay, you can do it during the night. You can do it during the day. It attracts the Crucian and the Gibel Carp either way. Now, one of the great things you can do is while you're waiting for a bite, guess what I have over here? We have a telly stick. Now, I'm going to stick with the 24 Because remember what happened in the last video? Yeah, I busted the hell out of this stuff. I replaced it. You can pick up your float rod while you're waiting. I forgot to do the depth. Over here, I'm going to start out at 80. I could probably... Now, let's start out at 1 meter. Get down there. Come on. And we're just going to sit here and wait. Now, this is actually a lot faster when you've got 3 rods. When you've got 3 rods, you're not using, and you're a little bit higher level, you're not using wet bread. You're using semolina, and that usually actually works a little bit better. You also could be using honey dough. You could be using, if I wanted to, I could throw some worms on here and try this down here. But this is the trophy area, and you can get some pretty big carp and gibel out of this if you want to like focus directly on the carp, the Crucian carp and the gibel. So as you can see, we've already got one on our float. Floating's actually really good down here because I think the game kind of sets it up to where you can get these things a little bit faster when you come down to floating, so you're not waiting as long. As you can see, I'm waiting quite a while on my bottom feeder rig, and I'm catching Crucian carp already on the float rig, and that's because I have a super small hook on this, on the float rod. I have a size 6 on the feeder rod, which makes it so bigger fish are more likely to take it instead of smaller fish. So I'm waiting for those bigger fish to come in. Now, if you wanted to, and you wanted to do this a little bit faster, so you got a lot more gibel and Crucian coming in, you can just lower the size of your hook down to like maybe, I don't know, probably an 8. An 8 would probably be really good. Maybe a 10 would be really good. In fact, I probably could do that. I could probably just show you the difference between it if I just go buy an 8 right now and show you the difference of how often they bite. But as you can see, I'm getting float fishing experience here. I'm getting gibel and Crucian, but the gibel and Crucian are actually pretty small because my hooks right here is only a tiny. So anything and everything is going to bite on that that's small. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead while I wait for this to happen. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I'm going to go grab us a size 8. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to go grab us a size 8 hook. And then I'll be right back. Oh, I hear the jingling dingling. Where's the jingling dingling? Where am I hearing it? Where is it? Where's my freaking rod? Okay, so we got something on here. Oh, yeah. Oh, we gotta probably turn this up 122. I like the way this new Lacerti looks. This is very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, so there's only a 670 gram Crucian. So this is what's going to happen. You'll probably get 5 or 6 of these, and then you'll get like a 1K. You get like a 1 kilogram one. So this is pretty much it, guys. This is really all it is just sitting here using 3 rods if you've got 3 rods. If you're starting out like I am, just with the bottom fishing and stuff, you can use 2 rods or 1 rod and a float. And as you can see, my float needs to be fixed. We're going to go back up to 80. Now, normally I would actually kind of show you guys like the difference of what you can catch and change this out to like an 8, but I'm not going to do that on my float rod because, I mean, that's just what's going to happen. As soon as I do that, a freaking trophy's going to hit it and it's going to snap my stuff in half. So what I'm going to do is just to kind of increase the action a little bit more for the video. I'm going to go into my comfort and I'm going to switch this out to an 8. I actually got us an 8 and a 10. So I'm going to switch it out to an 8 and you'll see that you'll get a little bit better of a bite rate just because you can aim for smaller, aim for a little bit smaller Crucian carp. But this is a really good spot for Crucian and gibel. We've already got another, actually, you know what? I might just raise this to a 10. I'll try a 10 on this. I tried a 24 before, and that's when it busted my line in the last video right at the start. But I'll try a 10 on it and see if we can get something from that. Okay, so it looks like it's starting to pick up. It looks like it only took a minute. Maybe it takes a minute or two for the for the ground bait to kind of start dissolving. But as you can see, it's starting to pick up big time. Bottom right of the corner of the screen, 15 fish so far. And around 2,200, even at night, they really started to catch up. Look at that case. So now we're getting into the 1 kilogram Crucian carp. Okay, now if we want, let's go ahead and look at the records and see exactly like what we're looking at as far as trophy, if we were to get an actual trophy fish. So if we go into USA weekly and we go into, what was it? It was a Crucian carp, right? Where are the seas? Am I blind? No. No, where's the Crucian carp? There's the Crucian carp. So it looks like Mosquito Lake. Look at that, semolina. Mosquito Lake, you can even do it on regular worms. 2.6 is around record. I believe 2.5 to 2.6 is trophy. Oh, we got another fish. And hopefully this isn't too dark for you guys to see. I got the flashlight on. You don't have to worry about the log. They're not going to get caught on the log or anything. Look at that. There's a 622 gram Gibel. Now, when it comes down to all of this being sold and stuff, they really don't sell too great. You can do a couple of cafe orders and stuff with them, but they don't sell too great on their own. But the sheer amount of numbers of Crucian and Gibel that you're actually going to get out of this hole is actually really, really nice. Even with me just doing float rod fish. Look at that, 822 grams. That's a pretty decent size Crucian right there. So this is your Crucian hole and your Gibel hole and your mouth hole. I'm sorry, I just kind of went off on that one. But yeah, and that's really all it takes. I'm only using 2 rods right now, and I'm actually doing really well. I'm at 18 already. A lot of people who, oh, I pulled that one too soon because I was too busy talking like an idiot and I wasn't concentrating on fishing. I am not a fisherman right now. That is a rookie mistake. That sucks. Anyway, a lot of people will say that they've done this quite a bit, and some of them I don't believe. They say, oh, I'm getting 300 an hour. I don't really believe that, to be honest with you. I think that's a little bit of fish stories, but that's what happens when you're a fisherman. You kind of deal with fish stories. I would say at least 100 to 150 an hour, depending on how well that you do during that hour. At least is what you're going to be pulling out of here, which is going to be great. So if I was to actually start fishing and go for a full hour and do this, I don't know which one to pull first. If I was to do a full hour to this, I guess I could probably do it and just kind of show you guys what happened after that 1 hour and how much we actually got with 2 poles. That's it, just my float pole and this one. And I haven't hooked into a big common carp yet, which I'm kind of happy about because they'll take off like just bats out of hell. 633. Okay, so now that it started to increase, I'm going to switch it back over to a 6. And let's see if it drops. And this is just on wet bread, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see if it drops, how quickly the fish bite. And I've got something over, nope, pulled too soon, because that's just a rookie mistake. I mean, I'm a beginner, right? Yeah, I am a beginner. Okay, so it's only been about 30 seconds since we did a screen cut. And I'm starting to get both the float as well as the feeder rod hitting again. 661, so as you can see, you're still getting kind of the same size, but I think you just get a little bit higher of a chance of pulling that trophy out here. Now I'm going to say this again. I'm going to repeat myself again. Damn it, I pulled too soon again. I'm going to repeat this again. Don't expect, just because my title of this is trophy, don't expect getting trophies at low level. You've got to put skills into your bottom fishing to be able to get trophies, but you do have a chance of getting a trophy or two here. I haven't got too many. I haven't put anything into any of these on my larger account, and I've done it. I've got about 5 or 6 trophies on that, and that's about it as of right now. But if you're using this one, then, you know, put a few skills into this. If you're using a single bottom rod, I could put 3 into this right now, and I could probably start pulling trophies, because it says right there, the techniques of fishing with a simple bottom rig improves. The higher the technique, the greater the chance of catching a trophy. You know what? To hell with it. To hell with it. Let's see if it actually makes. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a big fish. Well, it felt like it was. It might only be like a 1K. Okay, so there's a 1.2K Gibel. 1.6 is a trophy. Okay, now I don't want to say, oh, just because I put those skills in, that's exactly what happened, because I don't want you guys to go throw a bunch of those skills in and then assume that's exactly what's going to happen, because it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't work like that, but you do have a much higher chance of getting a trophy. And I do suspect that more often you will get bigger fish more often by doing that, by putting skills in. Now, I'm okay with doing that because up here I have my reset button. If I screw any of these up, I can always do one reset before they actually start charging me gold to reset. So play around with this stuff as much as you want to play around with it, you know, enjoy kind of trying different things. And then eventually when you're just like, okay, I'm high on that level, I actually need these skills, I'm going to reset. Let's go ahead and reset. And then you can use that free reset. And there's sometimes when they make a change to the game, like recently, the recent update that they did, they reset completely spin fishing. Was it spin fishing or was it bottom fishing? I think it was spin fishing, because they added 2 more skills. They added... was it spin fishing? I don't even remember what they added. I don't think it was bottom fishing, was it? No? Was it float? I swear it was spin fishing. I can't remember. Oh, conventional reels, and where was the other conventional thing? It was, and conventional light reels and regular and heavy conventional reels. So they reset this entire skill tree. So that was a free reset for everybody. Look at this. Every time that I turn around, I've got another fish. I was just hoping to see if I could get, maybe, hopefully, get a trophy. But when it comes down to this game, the fish don't really care if you're doing a video or not. they don't care. They're just like, what, you're doing a video? Oh, you want a trophy? No. Go away. You're not getting a trophy. So there is your Crucian and Gibel trophy area. I was concentrating. I was oh, we're gonna get him out. We're gonna get him out. We're good to go. We got him out. 426. That's good. Now I'm going to show you a second area real quick. So we're gonna go off. Just a second. Let me see. And it's actually to the right down here. Okay, so this is your second spot right here. Now, as you can see, you pretty much, at the very end there, you just need those two lily pad areas. Just cast in between those. This is your second hotspot for Crucian carp. You can get trophies right here, and we are at 3745. And on the map, we're over here. Over here is where our other setup is. This is where we are right here. And this will actually work too. You just toss in between all of these lily pads and stuff. I don't really like, when it comes to Crucian and Gibel Carp, I really don't like hitting right directly on the lily pads. I find that I get better bites when I cast in between them or just on the outside of them. So here is your second area right here, and this is a really good spot too. On top of that, you can also try right here in between these 2 lily pads. Sometimes this will be very active as well. I've never actually got a trophy out of there, so I can't say that it's a trophy area, but back here is definitely a trophy area, and this is where a lot of the high level players will come and lose their rod like I just about did. So as of right now, I'm not sure. I need to start figuring out what freaking time I started fishing so I can tell you like how many fish I've caught in that certain time frame. Dang it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fish a little bit longer. I'm gonna see if I can probably maybe hopefully I'm gonna try to get to about 50 fish. That way it'll give you a little bit better of idea of what you can actually get here. If I get anything bigger, that would be cool. So I'm gonna take a minute. We'll be back right quick and we'll kind of just turn all of this in and see how much we're actually going to make. And I don't believe we're going to have time to go for the other hot spots around Mosquito Lake when it comes to spinning and other stuff. Maybe I'll do another video on that. So we'll be right back, guys. Alrighty. We are back. It has been a total of about 45 minutes. We're at 58 fish. And I didn't catch any trophies, unfortunately. Even by putting in those stats for my skills, bottom fishing, using the bottom simple reel or simple rig, I would like to take these back, to be honest with you, because I'd rather have them in this, because I use this more often, because you can turn this into a regular bottom simple rig, but it'll still be on pattern nostril. But even with that, I didn't catch, unfortunately, I was a little bit unlucky today. Didn't catch anything, but it was only 45 minutes. Usually most people will go for a couple of hours and they'll catch a few. So cafe orders, we've got cafe orders for 2 gibels. So let's go ahead and go by weight. And we're just going to go like this. So we got 7 right there. Then we've got another one for 2. So 8, 9, we'll round it up to 10 and be generous. And then it looks like, unfortunately, we don't have any Crucian carp or anything like that for the cafe orders. What did I say? 7, 8, 9? Yeah, we'll say 9. And then if we come into here, we got a total of 70 in 45 minutes. And look at all of these. So let's go into the fish. Look at all these. They're all Gibel. They're all Crucian. All of them. And if we're going to go by weight, so the biggest one I caught Gibel, this is actually 300 kilograms off of a trophy. 1.6, 1.5, 1.6 are the trophies. So this is 300 kilograms off of a trophy. This is 400 kilograms off of a trophy. This is about 600 kilograms off of a trophy. So we're getting close, but we didn't quite get there. But we did. Look at all these big numbers right here. Look at all these big, they're actually pretty decent numbers for the level that we're at. We're only level 11, and we just made a total of 70. Now keep in mind, this was with 1 feeder rod and 1 float rod. Okay, imagine if you had 3 feeder rods. You're going to be doing 3 times the amount. So 140, 150, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's actually really excellent, and we've almost made all of that money back we used for the rod and the reel and the kit. We're at 126 up here, and 149, 220 is what we need for another rod setup. So you can do that, and you can get quite a bit of experience. We did really good on our experience, and you can get a pretty decent amount of money doing that, and that is actually a really good place to catch a lot of fish really quickly. So that is Mosquito Lake. More than likely what I'm going to do is probably do another video showing you like all of the spinning areas that you can go, and some of the float areas that you can go for like frogs and stuff like that. If you like to hit the video, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, don't hit it. Just make sure no matter what you do, subscribe. Thanks for coming out the channel and hanging out with me today, guys. I appreciate it. Keep gaming, keep doing it. Midnight. Have a blast. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Have a good one. And bye-bye.